Hello and welcome to the panelists of social media and marketing. I know that this is a big topic that a lot of people, I feel like I can't keep up. Like, what is happening? What do I need to know? What is the most important things to do? Well, we decided to bring a panel together for you that would really help with those needs. And so Phil is going to take, is it Phil today or is it Jeff? I'm trying to, now I'm on.
It's me. It's me.
Okay.
It's me. It's me.
It's me. It's me. I'd love for you to take over. I'm gonna be behind the scenes working stuff, but take it away, Phil. I mean, this is an amazing opportunity, and Phil's one of our amazing team members here. So please feel free, join. Tell them a little bit about yourself, and then jump into the panel.
Yeah, thanks for the intro, Aaron. I'm really excited to have our panelists here to talk about marketing and social media. It's the number one after the questions we get about how do I create my first challenge and how do I get going in the My Challenge Creator platform. The next question inevitably always is, how do I market? How do I build my brands on social media? So this is really relevant to not only the hundreds of coaches we work with, but all of the people building a business, inside and outside of our community. And everybody on the Impact Creator Summit can use, I'm sure, a little bit more marketing and social media support to spread their reach and spread their impact as well. So today, I am very excited to have Catherine Nunez, Brianna Gunn, and RJ Redden with us. We may have a couple more people hopping in as well. I think that's who we have right now. So what I want to do is have a little intro. I'd like Catherine and Brianna and RJ to introduce themselves real quickly, tell us a little bit about yourself. And then I have a couple questions because I put this out to all of our community and I got some questions for you. And I want to make sure you are able to share your insights and wisdom with everybody. We got a jam-packed hour here. So without further ado, let's start with whoever's on top of my list here. I think Brianna, you're at the number one position for me. So let's start with you. Give us a little bit of background on yourself and how that relates to marketing and social media.
Hey y'all, I am Brianna, or Brie Gunn, kind of like the cheese. And I am a marketing strategist and email copywriter. And I specialize in conversion copy. I found that after 12 years of just writing copy, it's not enough to just write the pretty words. You have to understand what the action you want the people reading the words to take. And if you don't know what that is, called the call to action, that's really, really paramount. I'm super passionate about relationship-driven marketing and believe that when done properly, a funnel is a good idea.
Awesome. Thank you for that. All right. Next, I have Catherine. How about you?
How many clicks does it take to come off a Zoom? That's like how many licks? Tootsie roll. Hi, my name's Catherine Nunez, and I'm the founder of the Social Selling Agency. And social selling, as everybody knows, is at the top of the funnel activity, which is where you find, connect, and engage with your target market, online or offline. And that is what I've based my company off of. I have 30 years of experience in corporate sales, business development. And when the pandemic hit, people were stuck and sales reps were stuck. They didn't know what to do. And they couldn't transfer those skills of in-person sales into an online platform like LinkedIn. And that's my jam, which is LinkedIn, and teaching people how to show up, how to take their personal brand, and how to actually engage with them and take them off the platform where necessary so that they can build real relationships with the people that they meet online.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you for that, Catherine. RJ, I don't know, are you going to be able to bring the energy and passion today? I'm concerned. Are you going to be able to do that?
I brought a side of extra just for you, my friend, and I'm so missing the Dee Snider wig. I really am right now.
We'll see how this goes. Maybe it'll come back out later.
Okay, if we're good.
Yeah, you behave yourself.
If I behave myself, I'm sorry, that's off the table.
Fair enough.
My name is RJ Redden, and I am the Chief Engagement Ninja at Black Belt Bots. That is my little company. We specialize in chatbots and other forms of engagement, like challenges and quizzes that help your audience click and connect with you. It like with these the other folks that are on. It's about engagement. It's about connection, and relationship building for me as well. We've been running about 5 years. It's a great gig, and I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you, RJ. I was obviously joking. We all know RJ is going to bring it and bring it big time. Our last one I want to introduce is also Steve Erickson. Steve, can you tell us a little bit about your background and 4th of July is going on right now?
That's right, yes. So my background is that I've been really studying marketing and the application of marketing for over many years, since really I started in 2000, sorry. And that has started really because I had a business. I had 7 staff. I was won awards as being one of the best companies in the UK in my space. I had an internet service provider, and I call it my failure to succeed, because other people sold their companies for like millions of dollars, and I got 5 figures for my company when I sold it. And it took a couple of years, and I went like, why did I fail to succeed? I'm very technical. I'm also very business oriented. I've got an MBA, and I totally failed to be successful. And so I set out on a journey of finding out what is effective marketing. And I realized everything I'd been taught in the business school did not apply as an entrepreneur. So that's what I've really been working on, bringing all of that together. We now created a virtual events platform, the one that you're using to get into this event, to help people be more effective with their marketing with virtual events. So that in a nutshell is what I do.
Beautiful. What a diverse and fantastic panel we have. I love it. Everybody's bringing something a little different. So much to offer. So I was wondering which way we were going to go in the direction for this. And you know what I wanted to start with is we have a lot of coaches in our network, and I know there's some on this call also who are trying to make the first steps into building a marketing plan or getting out on social media. So I wanted to do a little bit of a good and a little bit of a watch out as well. So if each of you, if we can pass it around, we'll go in reverse order this time, and pass it around of what's the biggest tip to get started. First of all, like, is there a tip to get started? And then what's a pitfall that you can give us to avoid once we're getting started? So both of those questions, Steve, I'll let you round out or start the trail back the other direction.
Right. So the biggest tip I have, and where a lot of people are missing what they're supposed to be doing, is people tend to come from the problem of what am I selling, the wrong direction. They go, here is what I know, here's my expertise, and I want to give this to the world. I got so much to share of what I do. The focus is all on them. What you need to do is to put the focus on your audience. What is it my audience want to experience? What is it that they want to achieve? What are the results that they want? Can I supply that? Can I make that transformation happen for them? As long as you're focused on what you're going to do, then you'll be upset that nobody wants what you got to offer. If you instead go in with a view of, I'm going to serve them, I'm going to supply what will make them achieve the result that they want to have, and I will do whatever it takes to deliver on that, you're going to get a much better result, many more clients, you're going to be much more popular and build your authority. Pitfall you need to avoid is really to be pushy. So let me explain what I mean by that. In today's world, it's such a small world. Reputation travels. You need to be genuine. You need to have integrity. If you start blowing off people, if you're not delivering on your program, word will travel. And so you really need to focus on everything that you are doing is within the integrity of what you said you're going to do. Take responsibility for that delivery and make it happen for your clients. Go to any degree you need to make that happen, because when you don't deliver, people will find out and your sales will suffer.
Beautiful. That's a great place for us to start, Stephen. Thank you very much for that. RJ?
Hello. So I am going to start with one of the big traps that I see a lot of people fall into. There are 687 trillion tools and free things on the internet. And when you are first starting out, it just seems so overwhelming. This person had a great success with this. This person had a great success doing over here. Well, this person just said the opposite of what that person said, and they're both successful. Now what? So my hope for you, if you're just starting out right now, is that you will focus on the stuff that gives you energy. Focus on the tools that you love to work with. Focus on the people that you love to work with. It's not about how many tools you have. It's not about, falling into lockstep behind a certain thing. It's about knowing who your audience is and targeting for those exact people, which leads me into what to do. People, please, for the love of whatever you consider holy, please know who you are after. Find that niche. Find those people who are perfect for you. There are people who will resonate to the sound of your voice out there. Who are they? What characteristics do they have? Where do they hang out? That is where you need to be. You need to be with them. So many people that I know just fire on all cylinders, baby. We're gonna put everything on every network, and we're gonna cover the earth. For some reason we all fell in love with broadcasting. We don't need to be in love with broadcasting. We need to be in love with magnetization. And so that's not enough wisdom to fill a string of pearls, but it was 2 for you.
Oh no, that was a lot of it. I really appreciate that. That's finding your avatar and really having that energy and focus. Those are 2 great pearls of wisdom. So thank you for that. Catherine?
I think going third, I wouldn't know what's left. I'm just kidding. So I have three things that I work primarily with with my clients, and it's going both to the points of Steve and RJ, which is understand whom you serve, which RJ just very well articulated that, because we know that we can't be all things to all people. Maybe if you need to tell yourself you can be, okay, but first start with one and then try all the others if you really feel like that's going to be a goal, right? First, be really successful with one. So that's understanding who you serve. Understanding what business problem you solve is really important as well, not how your target market articulates that. So you may really know what the problem is that you're solving, but how they're articulating it is how you're going to be able to match the voice of your customer to be able to speak their language. So I believe that's very important. Who you serve, what business problem you solve, and the outcomes of working with you. So I've seen a lot. Here's the tip, and the mismatch is when I look at people's offerings and the wordings that they're using and the outcomes that the clients are really getting, there tends to be gaps. And I call that, we need to mind your gaps and make sure that you're understanding that where you're fitting in their journey, so that you know who has them before. And if you're going to fill one part of the gap, who you're going to maybe be able to hand them to next. So that you can stay focused in solving that problem and really moving the needle for that person. So that was my tips on a problem.
I love that. And finding out where you fit in the gap of the process, and probably adding partnerships in. And there's a bunch of hundreds and hundreds of coaches on this Impact Creators Summit. And what a great way to network and find people that are on the front or the back end of whatever you're doing. That's really valuable. Just for everybody on this call, I'm trying to stay out of the way as much as possible. We've got these amazing presenters, and I want to make sure that you get as much value out of this as possible. So I'm going to be moving fast to make sure we get everybody to share all of their wisdom. So Brianna, what can you add to that?
So I love that we hit on a lot of what I would normally say. So I'm gonna go a little bit against the grain and say follow up with people. When people comment on a post, when people engage on your post, send them a message, thank them, reply to their stinking comment. Guys, if they feel like you're not reading the things they're posting, they're not going to come back. And there's a law of reciprocity, right? Like if you notice that RJ is commenting on all your posts, go check out what RJ is doing. Reciprocate that, invest some time in actively engaging with your audience. That's how you find clients. And as RJ said, for the love of whatever you consider holy, please stop trying to be everywhere and stop trying to be everything to everyone. If you speak to everyone and you're on every platform, nobody knows what you actually stand for. Each platform serves a purpose. I happen to love TikTok. It is my happy place. I love that thing. It's amazing. There are a lot of people who are like, you're absolutely insane. That's fine. They're not my people. I hate Instagram. Don't want to be there. Not there anymore. Figure out what makes you happy and what you're going to show up for and do that instead of trying to do all the things. It's a much bigger lift if you try to force yourself into a funky shaped box that doesn't fit.
That's wonderful. Thanks for that, and thanks for airing your dirty laundry about TikTok versus Instagram. I'm glad that this is a safe space for you to diss on Instagram and love TikTok. I know I'm not going to name names of any of my business partners who love TikTok, but there is one on this. There he is. He's raising his. He's admitting himself on this. Jeff is a TikToker. So as we swing back in the other direction, I wanted to, because I'm struck by how varied, even though you guys are all the speakers all have similar base and foundation around relationship selling and integrity and connecting with your the people you're trying to serve and niching into what you feel good with and energy flowing. You're all doing it in slightly different ways. So I wanted to give you a little space to talk about. We'll go back in the other direction, and I want you to be able to explain kind of your niche and how specifically you do the marketing. You gave the intro. You talked a little bit about, Brianna, for you, TikTok versus Instagram, but can you dive into a little bit about what specifically you do in the marketing and social media realm and how that benefits people that you work with?
Absolutely. So the first thing that I do is figure out what the heck do you like to do? What kind of content do you like to create? Because let me tell you, if you hate video content, TikTok's not your platform. If you like long form posts, Instagram's probably not your jam. If you like short, sweet, to the point, you're going to love Twitter. If you like pretty pictures and curated feeds, Instagram is exactly where you should be. So knowing what you enjoy and where you gravitate toward is really, really key in actually engaging and staying on that platform and being there for the people you're trying to attract. The second thing that I think a lot of people make the mistake of is trying to force themselves into a box that doesn't fit. What I mean by this is, if you are not a copywriter, you don't need to write copy, make reels, do stories, send yourself audio clips of yourself talking and transcribe it. Like, let's hack the system and get smarter at what we're doing instead of trying to shove our feet into shoes that don't fit. And finally, stop trying to be everywhere. You are not missing out if you're not on Pinterest. You are not missing out if you hate Instagram like me. You are not missing out if you can't stand, well, LinkedIn's one of those things where I really feel like everybody should be on LinkedIn, even if you just have a profile. It's professional and it's a growing platform. So like, get your LinkedIn up, but if you don't want to hang out there, that's cool. Just make sure you're visible there. Make sure you have visibility across the board, but don't hang out everywhere, because I don't know anyone who has that kind of time in their day. I just don't. Find one or two platforms that just make you freaking happy and stay there. And then, like, for me, the gap that I fill is your content creation. A lot of people get burnt out trying to figure out what to say and how to say it. And that's where I come in. But here's the thing, you don't really need me. I am one of the people that you hire when you're ready to start building a team and you're ready to step into more of a CEO type role, which is great. And some people hire me a little bit before that, and that's fine. But my specialty is sales, copy, launching, and getting momentum under your business. And so if you don't have a foundational piece on a platform, it's really difficult for someone like me to come in because I don't have any reference for your voice, your tone. I don't know what you like to sound like. I don't know what you gravitate towards. I don't know what, it's very hard for someone like me to come in blind and start from scratch, because when you hire a copywriter, whether we're talking about social media marketing or marketing in general, when you hire a copywriter, you need to have enough of your content already created that they have a jump point. That is paramount. Do not go to a copywriter, please, for the love of all that is holy. Do not go to a copywriter and be like, I don't know what I want to sound like, or I don't care what I sound like, or just do your thing, because I guarantee you nobody's going to be happy in that relationship and there's going to be a refund involved. I promise. It is not a good recipe. It's a recipe for disaster. So when we're talking social media, first of all, figure out where you like to hang out and how you like to create content, and then lean into that. And don't try to be everybody else. Your people, my third thing, I guess, your people are coming and hanging out with you. They don't want you to look like somebody else, sound like somebody else, be like somebody else. Your social media presence is a tiny little microcosm of the coolness that is you. So when you try to imitate, it feels inauthentic, you're going to burn out, and your people are going to leave because they can feel that it's not in alignment.
Wow, that's one of the common themes that I wanted to just reiterate is and you said it right there, is not trying to fit yourself into any boxes, right? And doing what gives you energy. I think that's such a valuable lesson for everybody, because there's so much pressure and stress and your other point about being everywhere, right? And then also trying to imitate the people that are out there with a huge reach, and then trying to make sure I'm on everything. So I think what you said is really super freeing. And I hope everybody feels that. And then what integrity? I think people do need you. I'm just going to say that right now. So I appreciate you saying that. But I know how tough it is to write copy and having someone to support you. And back to that filling of the gaps pieces too. I think there's a lot of partnership opportunities for us in this summit, and knowing who you're going to hand off, which was mentioned before, but also knowing who can support you in the areas that you're not really super confident or competent in right now is really impactful.
Can I add a quick tool if you're not sure if you need someone like me?
Yeah, let's do it.
One of the best things you could do in your business, and this is it, like when you get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm kind of maxed out on time, I need to hire somebody, but I'm not sure who. Mm-hmm. Get a piece of paper. This is not an original idea. Make a foursquare. Okay, so line down the middle, line across the middle. I want you to make right in the top left, things I love to do. The top right is things I like to do. Bottom is things I can do, but maybe shouldn't. And the bottom is I'd rather catch my hair on fire or some iteration of that. And as you do your daily tasks, just keep that piece of paper at your desk and write the task in the column or the box that it fits in. And when you go to hire, take a look at the things that are in the bottom half of the paper, probably on the bottom right-hand side, and hire to those points first. If copy is uncomfortable, but your hair is not on fire, it's not the thing you need to hire first. I actually had a gal that she was ready to hand me $10,000 for my package without question. And I was like, you can't hire me right now. You need an OBM instead. Mm. And she went, what do you mean? And I said, you just said all the things that made alarm bells go off in my head that you need the organizational help. Mm. Before you bring me in, because if I come in, I can fix one small piece of your business. I can't fix the bigger thing that's your pants are burning. You may not know it yet, but your pants are on fire. And she, I have a large network of business owners, and I was able to refer her to someone. They had a great meetup or smashing success. They're running like crazy together, and we're going to start working together in July now. Beautiful. So sometimes helping people get to where they need to go is more important than signing the client.
Yeah, working with integrity, which was mentioned earlier, it's that's an amazing example. Thank you for sharing that with us. All right, Catherine, you mentioned LinkedIn. Can you talk a little bit about LinkedIn as your kind of your sweet spot? I think you were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, so I work, I want to say 99, I was exclusively with B2B based businesses. The one consumer brand that I work with is still B2B. So LinkedIn, 800 million people are on that platform. Understanding business to business, what you're doing, you don't have to understand everything about the platform and what all the bells and whistles are. The goal, you just need to understand what your goal is going to be each time you open up the platform, so that you don't go a rabbit hole and find yourself, 4 hours later, you're still reading people's articles or going around and trying to figure things out. And so, I have my little analytics thing or my little goals here. So, when you pop open, one thing that I like to talk about with LinkedIn is that there's an inbound strategy you can have and an outbound strategy that you can have on LinkedIn. And you do not have to post every day to have success on LinkedIn. And one of the mistakes I do see people doing is when they start to add team members, the first thing they have a VA or an OBM, someone says to them, "Oh, I can write your posts for whatever your platform is," right? So their voice now gets watered down into somebody else that's starting to post for them daily on all these platforms, and they're kind of spaghetti throwing because they don't have an overall strategy about what's their goal for the month. What are they selling? What are they launching? Brianna was just saying, what are you doing? What's your whole strategy for the quarter or the year? And then also defining your success metrics. So what's the positive business impact that you're going to measure with the strategy you're using for insert week, month, quarter? And I know for sure that's important. So if your goal is awareness, and you need to understand your buyer's journey. If your goal is awareness and you're just building your personal brand in your business, so you want to let people know a little bit about you. What are you doing? What do you stand for? What do you stand against? What's your voice that you're exercising? And always remember that your post structure is also important when writing on LinkedIn. Your hook, look at some of the posts that are performing really well within your network and the people that you're following, and find that they're not using LinkedIn like Instagram and putting 30 hashtags in their post. They're not bunching things up, and it looks, and you could see where it's been posted. LinkedIn really likes organic posts versus a third-party scheduler. They like organic posting. So understanding all of those nuances, if your goal is reach, well, then you need to perform for the platform so that your reach will be amplified properly. I could talk all day on LinkedIn. Do you have any specific questions that you'd like for me to address?
I do. I'm sure we're going to get some in the chat which will follow up at the end. I want to make sure I get to RJ and Steven as well. But I do have a question around like LinkedIn. If I am getting started, what is maybe a tough question, but how long should I expect, if I am posting? You said I don't have to do it every day, but what's a realistic expectation around getting some sort of traction? I mean, I'm not talking business metrics necessarily and a bunch of conversions, but I've heard different things about, the long game of LinkedIn and some of these other social media platforms for posting strategies.
Consistency is the key, and the algorithm picks up. The algorithm is some famous black box, right? But your post tends to perform best if you consistently post. And with LinkedIn, your posts can continue to have traction 2 or 3 days after. So if you posting daily on the platform, your audience could get confused as to which post they're going to give the most attention. So that's one of the things that I would like to say to somebody that's just starting out, maybe 3 days a week.
Mhm.
whichever days best suit you, whichever days your audience is on the platform. It could be Saturday morning, who knows? But make sure that you're consistent with that. And I don't even know. I'm not even going to pretend to guess how long it's going to take someone, because I don't know their market. I don't know their avatar, and I don't
Sure.
know the quality of the content that they're putting on the platform. But it's important to remember your strategy. So if I'm going to grow my network by 100 people this month,
Mhm.
let's just use that round number.
Sure.
So who are those people? Did I spend the appropriate amount of time understanding them so that when I'm engaging with their content before I send them a connection message,
Mm.
do I know what they do? Are they active on the platform? What am I going to find out about them that's unique before I send them a connection request? And then you can send them a connection request. You'll have a higher connection request positive rate. That's the word I just made up. So it just takes, there's a whole strategy. You just can't show up and start clicking connect on LinkedIn. And the most important things are to remember, that your branding is consistent, that your headline says who you serve, what business problem you solve, and what the outcome of working with you is, that your headshot stands out, that your bio is written in a client-facing manner, and you're not throwing up on your about section, and you're also not saying how great you are. If you have more of the word I and me and we than you and yours, then you need to rethink your LinkedIn profile. And it's also, in my opinion, best to not write it in a third person format, because people are on LinkedIn to look for people. And if you want them to engage with you and reach out to you, and it's written in a third party format, then they're going to think that maybe you even have a VA that's managing your LinkedIn profile, and you're not very approachable on that platform. You're too important to have some meaningful content on the
Right.
platform.
Right. Beautiful. Thank you for that. I appreciate those tips. So I shouldn't just say, reach out immediately and offer my services when I become a friend request with somebody. That's the big takeaway. Like I have 600 of those in my
Yes.
inbox right now. Someone I've never met. And it's like, oh.
Just because they accepted your connection, it does not give you permission to throw up in their inbox.
Fair enough.
Not
Fair
at
enough.
all.
We'll leave with that visual. We'll move on to RJ. RJ, I don't know what a chat bot is. Tell me how a chat bot can help me with marketing and social media, would you?
Beautiful. Thank you for the opportunity, my friend. Let's do this. Say you're at a party. And maybe a networking event. You've got a drink in your hand. People are wandering by. Generally, you'll reach out to some of those people. You'll have a little conversation, probably the same 7 or 8 questions that you usually ask and answer, right? You stay at that party maybe 3 hours. Out of maybe 10 people you've met, 2 are going to be ones you call and or email when you get home, because those are going to be rock stars for you. There are probably another 3 or 4. They're going to keep those cards and, maybe turn that into something. And then there's some people that maybe weren't a good fit for you at all, but you're keeping in mind for other people. So at the end of 3 hours, you got 10 people. Everybody with me? All right. You got a chat bot. You can have 100 of those conversations in the same minute. That's the power. It's scalability is all it is. People ask me what a chat bot is. It is a conversation on steroids. It is, but in a nice way. It is a conversation that you can have to qualify people into your world, to onboard them into your services, to help them once they get into a class. The very first chatbot I wrote was an accountability chatbot. I wrote it, and this was when nobody knew what a chatbot was. That's what kind of a nerd I am. So I wrote this accountability chatbot for a friend of mine. She liked it so much, she posted it on her wall. And then some of her friends posted it on their walls. And I had 80 people in my chatbot overnight.
Wow.
And then I decided to change my business to Black Belt Bots, and that's why I'm where I'm at today. Because just think of all of the conversations that you have every day. How much of that could you automate with personality? People, do not automate without personality.
That's
Do me
what I
this
was gonna-
favor.
That's what I was
Yeah.
going to ask you. I hope that some of your personality or ours, if we were going to go with chatbots, would be in there. So
It must be. It
Mm.
must be in order to work.
Mm.
As our copywriting friend was saying, Brie, like the cheese, she was saying, you've got to have a voice. You've got to have a point of view. I always tell people, embrace your weird. I
Mhm.
certainly have. But embrace your weird. Yes. Thank you, Stephen. And I love that hat, by the way. Hug it. Love it. Because you know what? Your weird makes you stand out. It does. And isn't that what we want to do, is stand out above the noise? I serve coaches. I serve coaches with great big hearts who want to transform the world. And I call what I do, chatbots is a tool, but what I do is engagement first marketing. Engagement first. Nope, I am not going to treat you to 17 emails telling you all about what I know with the last one having an offer. No, I will not do this. I want to engage you in a conversation. Probably one of my bot conversations first. I swear they're a lot of fun. Spinning Dragon is my avatar. She's a little ninja in a blue zip up suit. She's fabulous. She has a cape too. And I'm going to engage you that way. And then I'm going to bring you into my circle, because as my circle gets bigger, my life gets better. That's what engagement first marketing is all about. Quizzes, challenges, onboarding, all of these training, even all of these different things can be put into a chatbot conversation. I do mine off of Facebook. Mine are on their own web pages, and transform that into something that makes your circle bigger, that makes the people that you know and that know you and that want to refer you better and bigger every single day. That's what it's all about for me.
Beautiful. I love it. A bot with a friendly and engaging personality. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm sure anything that you're doing is not going to be boring or not have our or your personality included in it. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you for sharing. Steve, share with us a little bit about your way of engaging and marketing and social media.
Right. So I'm very, very honest in business. I don't try to hide anything. So I'll tell you how I do my social media. Absolutely dreadfully. All right. And here's why. First of all, I currently am in a position where I have to balance my growth with how much I have to do. I am fully at capacity. So trying to do social media on top of everything else I'm doing is very, very difficult. At the same time, as Brianna was talking about, having the right systems in place to deal with it, we're working on creating that right now. We are working on what do we do with our business, because our story is we started developing in March of last year. We went public and launched our services in June. We had over 140 clients before we even went public, before anybody could actually log into our platform. We had 140 people who bought our lifetime deal. We did our first summit on our platform in July of last year. We now have over 60 summits listed in our platform, past summits, future summits, and I'm involved in every single one. So if I'm trying to build the systems, and as Catherine was talking about, the importance of what you do with your LinkedIn profile and having everything aligned, we haven't got there yet. So when I do LinkedIn, I do more event promotion. It is saying, we have this particular event going on. We have a speaker connections. I invited around, I think it was about 60 people to saying, we're doing this networking meeting. We just started up. We're going to do them twice a month. Are you interested? And I think 40 of them signed up. Very, very powerful, right? But that was an event thing. It wasn't a driving a funnel into the business and having it ongoing month after month. So for the second one I invited about 20 people because I didn't have time to invite more. Third one, didn't invite anybody. We already have about 50, 60 people showing up to our event. We want to grow it. Now for our next one, we're hiring a VA who is going to help us just with that invite part of it, because we can cope with that. We can handle that. We have something to drive them to. If I try to drive them into having meetings with me, into my diary, which is the great way of using LinkedIn, for instance, I am already booked out. My calendar is so full, I can't cope with any more calls and dealing with our clients and helping them and executing. We had a summit yesterday with 80 people in 3 tracks. We have the summit today going on because this summit is using our platform. We have summits coming up next week that we're helping out with.
What I wanted to celebrate, you're being very humble about, this whole journey for you, and I appreciate your transparency. What I wanted to celebrate was I received your emails. And what I wanted to celebrate is the casual conversational nature of this email, which is the invite to the speaker networking. And so this, I just want everybody to hear this. This is actually, it reads and sounds as though Steve called me and just said, hey, Stephen, I'm going to read this for you real quick. Hey, Stephen, we're building up a decent sized network of coaches, authors, therapists, and speakers, as well as a list of hosts and podcasters. So let's meet, right? Like, it's so conversational. The other thing is it's about 8 lines. It's 8 lines long. So for anybody that's thinking about it has to be complex and all that, I'm just saying that one of the gifts that Stephen's showing, just be yourself and have a conversation.
Yeah, that is really a key thing. And thank you for bringing that up, Stephen.
Yeah,
but what is really affecting for me, and again, full transparency, because here's how I do this, right? I want people to be successful. I left a 6-figure job to go and coach people in client attraction, how to get more clients on board. I started doing summits, realized my clients couldn't do summits because it was too complex, created Event Raptor so they could start doing summits. So I love working with people who are just in the beginning phase of their business and they want to become successful. So whenever I mess up, I share that. I hold my hands up and saying I mess up. I don't try to gloss over it. Now, I don't send out an email to everybody saying, hey, I messed up yesterday. I don't do that because I see that from like people like Frank Kern. He'll send out a message to like hundreds of thousands of people saying, hey, I messed up. And because of this, you're going to get this. That's a marketing tactic. To give you an example, I ran a networking meeting earlier today, and we had for 2 hours, we had about 50, 60 people. And I was going to recreate the rooms. And instead of recreating the breakthrough rooms, as we call them, we don't like breakout, we do breakthrough rooms. I hit the open all rooms instead, and everybody went in. So I pressed the button, brought them all back and said, hey guys, sorry about that. What happened was that I was so busy trying to talk with you and doing this at the same time, and I hit the wrong button. So just give me a second while I redistribute the rooms. All right, that's it. Let's do it. And because of that, people are saying to me, I'm so genuine, I'm so authentic. And I am. I am really wearing my heart on my sleeve. And I think regardless of whether you do social media or you do email or you do any kind of conversation when you're doing meetings, that authenticity comes through. So my biggest thing is when you're doing social media, whether you're doing just a little bit or you're doing a lot, just be authentic. Share of yourself. People love that you're sharing of yourself. I'm a total introvert. The first time I was on stage in my own summit, I was like, and here's the next speaker. And thank you very much to that speaker. And I was like, and between each one, turning the camera off and literally like laying down on the table and going, okay, that's over, like waiting for the next one. And I forgot to share who I was. I never introduced myself in the first 2 days and said, hi, I'm Steve, and here's the summit. I literally just like blasted through them because I'm such an introvert. And what you see now is a progression because I've forced myself to try to be on stages and speaking and everything. And me being like this 2 or 3 years ago, totally not something that would have happened. And because I share that, I get people who connect with me and said, look, I am an introvert and what you shared is so impactful. And when you can do this, I want to be in your sphere. I want to be in your group. I want to do your programs because I believe you can help me. When I'm going to all of these other programs, they're so fake. They have really good marketing and then get on the inside, and what they deliver is absolutely just a thin, like layer on top of everything else. They're not delivering what they say, but I believe you can deliver. And that for me is the biggest thing. You need to be authentic. You need to be a person, especially in virtual, because you don't have the ability to meet people. Just be yourself.
Beautiful. Stephen, did you have something else? Thank you,
Yes,
Steve.
I wanted to just share. I just wanted to share a synthesis concept. So, Brianna, you gave this great idea of the 4 boxes, right? And there's the what I love, and my hair's on fire, and all that. Steve, just to share with you, there was a beautiful moment in what you just shared, and you can go back and look at the recording. What's beautiful is you lit up energetically when you said the sentence about you told the story. It was not really a story, it was a comment where you said, I really love working with speakers who are new, and this is paraphrased from memory, and who haven't figured out it was something about and haven't figured out the whole piece about how to do it, right? Yeah. So what I just want to synthesize for everybody is, imagine if he added that one sentence to this email. And so I'm just showing everybody, for the people that were getting the feedback earlier about the niche and owning your voice, and Catherine was talking about this, that's an example. It can be that subtle. So my tip for everybody is start with who you are and what you love. And that's why, Brianna, I love your 4 boxes, right? The question I would do with Brianna's 4 boxes is, once you do that, are any of the things, this is really important, are any of the things that you love, are they in your marketing? Does anybody know that that's what you love doing? I mean, seriously, does anybody know that that's it? So you can just add that one sentence to those emails, and it would give you, color and texture to understand, right? So for me, I ran a free community, which we've now closed after 2 years, but for COVID, we created a free community for speakers, right? Every single aspect of the landing page was about, you're an advanced speaker. You've been at this for over a decade. You're exhausted from traveling. Isn't COVID a great break? No, do you see what I'm doing? I pushed away every newbie speaker. And then I said, and it's invitation only. Just to share with you, in the midst of COVID, we were like a glass of water in the middle of a desert, right? Ended up with 218 people, and 160 something of them were referred in, not by me, but by the community. So anyway, those are just my thoughts on that. And thank you for the inspiration on the hat.
That's a man after my own heart with that hat. I don't have anything close, or else I'd grab something. But I want to wrap up here. We got about 10 more minutes, and I want to make sure that any questions from we have about 30 people that are joining us. So I want to make sure any questions get asked and answered by any of our panelists. One thing that came in before I opened it up was, what's better for traction, posting a video or a text-based post? So Catherine, why don't you give us a little LinkedIn, and then anybody else can hop in on that one.
Well, one of my cliches that I say is never guess, test. So you don't know what your target market likes until you post either of those and find out what they're engaging with. And then also, not every post needs a graphic. For example, polls don't have graphics, and your videos could also be a SlideShare video. You don't have to get too fancy on videos. My two top best performing posts that I've ever written were the slider, the document sliders that you can upload. I do lives, I reposition my lives, I do video, I do all kinds of different things. Those are the best things that I've ever performed. So they're not graphics by themselves, they're not an image, and they're not a video. It's just a slide, the document that has about 5 pages. So find what performs best for you. If Brianna is going to go on LinkedIn and she's a TikTok video person, maybe she starts with video and she can see how those perform for her people. She could take one frame from that video and use it as an image. If somebody's content heavy, they can just take the text and put a simple word up. I'm guessing here. What I just say, don't guess, test and find what's performing, and you can look it up what's been performing best on LinkedIn for most people. And then you can start with that if you want as a base. But what do you like to do?
Great, thanks for that. Anybody else on the panel have any other comments around that?
Yeah, I'd like to say that I think you'll often find that video does outperform text, but there are absolutely exceptions you do need to test. But more importantly is that what is it you're putting in your video? What is it you're saying in your video? How do you come across is also something you need to test. It's pointless to put the video and next to the text and saying, oh, it didn't perform well. You need to maybe do 5 different videos with 5 different messages to find out. You can have one of them performing at 10%, another one can get you an opt-in of 90% because the messaging is different. Make sure that the messaging of the video is supporting the text that you are using on your page as well, on your post as well. So bear that in mind when you are looking at this and you're testing.
Beautiful.
The comment I have just as a follow-up was, take a look. One idea is become obsessed of asking questions. And I'm not talking about sending an email with 5 questions. I'm talking about 1 question, right? So one of the things that Trey Shinneman, who's with the Ask Method, he's one of the speakers, he's incredible, is take a look at where each of your people, like actually on your email list, for instance, send an email out and say, hi, I'm just curious, where was the first time you saw me? When was the first time you heard of me? And those are 2 really powerful questions. Where was the first time you saw me? This is all a brain science thing. Where was the first time you saw me? And when, right, was the last time you heard about me? So the concept is ask. And what will be interesting, we all know the 80-20 rule, right? But the concept is then look at that and say, who were my best clients? Who were the ones that have spent the most money with me? Who are the ones that have stayed with me the longest? The other example for those of you that are coaches is ask yourself, who are the 4 clients that have been with me the longest? Become obsessed to go and ask them why they're with you so long.
That's a good one. All right. Any other questions from the group here before we wrap? I don't see any other questions in the chat right now. So I do appreciate all of the thank yous. I don't know if our panelists can see all the chat, but the outpouring of thanks and gratitude and appreciation for you all has been tremendous. Stephen, Raul, thanks for your hopping in and doing that. Stephen's also part of this a coaching program that we're going to talk about a little bit later too, so you can see some of his insights and powerful insights can be shared with everybody. So I want to give you I want to go back around the horn and make sure that you have a little parting 60 seconds. Okay, so
and where people can find you, because you also have sessions that were pre-recorded that are in this summit. So people that are watching, make sure you go check out their sessions, but also tell everybody where people can find you on social media as well while you're answering that question for Phil.
It's 45 seconds because you probably have 15 seconds to share on your social media. So there you go. All right, let's go. I'm gonna go on the now who I see on my screen here. Catherine, you are up the furthest to my left. So go for it.
Yes, so LinkedIn, Catherine Evans Nunez, or if you Google my name, Catherine E. Nunez or Catherine Evans Nunez, I really hope I take up the whole Google page or 2. So you can reach out to me any of those in those places, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you about any type of LinkedIn strategy. Personal branding, yes.
Great, thanks. RJ?
Greetings, everybody. You can find me at Black Belt Bots. You can also find me RJ Redden. Also, I mean, I'm probably not the only one, but I'm the most important one, at least like for this crowd. Anyway, do find me online. I'm a LinkedIn person as well. I love that place. My final thought for everybody is choose tools that fuel. See, made it rhyme. It'll be easy to remember. Choose tools that fuel. Choose a tool like Bree was talking about, that TikTok. Things that make your heart jump a little bit, things that you are excited to do, that you'll be a lot more likely to be consistent with that tool. and you'll be a lot more likely to have good, excellent success with it. That's all I got.
Beautiful. You're a poet and you didn't even know it, huh? I love that rhyme. Thank you, RJ. No doubt you are the most important RJ Redden that I know. All right, Steve, you're the one that's up next on my left to right here on my panel.
All right, my golden parting nuggets is really that when you are trying to build your business, and I see people are struggling with all of these aspects all of the time, you need to have your ducks lined up in a row. You need to have an offer that people want, not pushing what you think they need. You need to have a funnel, which is basically a way of following up, whether that is manual or an automated system. You need to be able to have a signature talk so you can, at the drop of a hat, go in and speak for 30 minutes about what you do and how you transform people's life, and invite them either to a follow-up session or to send them to a checkout page. You need to have a way of converting people when you're on a one-on-one basis with them. And you need to have a series of things lined up, like a challenge. You know, guys, if you haven't looked at the challenge platform, go and look at the challenge platform, because that will bring people into your funnel so you can actually get a steady stream of prospects that can convert into your customers and your clients. How do you find me? I'll put my details in the chat. You can just look up Steve Erickson on LinkedIn and hopefully you'll find me there. Also, you can schedule in time with me and say hi.
Beautiful. Thank you, Steve. Brianna, you're up next. I saw you. Oh, I see your assistant back there in the background. I saw him.
He's very helpful. Yeah. So you can find.
Bring us home. Bring us home, Brianna.
I'll do my best. Last words of wisdom. Don't be afraid to be yourself. The whole reason people hire you and not somebody else is because you are you. So stop, for the love of all that is holy, stop trying to be someone you're not. If you like what I had to say and you want to hang out with me, you can follow me on TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. I have accounts all there, but I spend most of my time on TikTok and LinkedIn. I am at the Brianna Gunn on those platforms. And if you really want to go deep into my brain, you can download my magazine at briannagunn.com/magazine. It is free. And you are welcome to go like dive in deep and get some content goodness in your world.
Thank you. Perfect timing. We got all this in 59 minutes. So great work by the panelists. I really, really appreciate you. It's so refreshing to hear a marketing panel and a social media panel with people that have so much integrity and give so much away. And I think that's really awesome for our Impact Creator Summit to offer everybody who's listening so much value with so much integrity. So I hope everyone follows up with everybody on the panel. Thank you for everything. And we are out. And have a good one.